Hi, welcome to Inside Guelph. I'm your host, Trish Stevenson. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, March 9th. Hope you all enjoyed your weekend. The temperatures rose, the sun came out. We kicked off the weekend with Rogers Night at the Sleeman Center Friday night. So much fun. And of course, the days got longer, which means it's lighter out. We have great programming starting your Monday off. We have a Paralympian on the show today. You'll meet her, Leah. We also have your Guelph Wellington Seniors Association update. And joining us now, we have Tim Gerard with Barkbusters and our friend Duncan, who's just chilled out. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. I love having you on the show. I've learned so much from you, and we aren't even dog owners. I grew up with dogs.
Maybe you will be, yeah.
Yeah, well, we did. I'll tell you, we did.
Yeah.
We went and looked at a puppy, and just one member of our family is not ready, and
okay.
I think you all need to be on board. Yeah, the daddy wasn't ready
yeah.
yet. Yeah, everyone needs to be on board with the training. So, and that's what we want to talk about is training. Let's go through the common mistakes that we do. What are the common mistakes?
Well, the biggest mistake, the most common mistake, is people forget that they're dogs.
Oh.
They think they suddenly become human, and they start thinking they can talk to them like they're humans.
Oh.
Right? That they use reason and logic, and they're never going to be human. They're always going to be dogs, and they're always going to communicate like a dog. Our founder, Sylvia, who founded this 25 years ago, Barkbusters, has a great saying. She says, when a mother gives birth to the litter, she doesn't start to teach it with the idea it's going to the human world.
Right.
She teaches it like it's going to the dog world.
Right.
So they learn how to communicate like a dog. They learn how dogs interact. But people think somehow they're always like that lab they had when they were a kid that was so easy, and then they forget to train the dog.
Oh gosh. Or like when the dog gets into the garbage, they start saying, that hurt my feelings when you did that to me. Yeah, no.
One thing to consider about dogs is they're always a 2 to 3 year old child. Okay. So if that's their brain capacity, it never grows like children.
Okay.
So reason and logic don't work. Just like it wouldn't work on a 2 or 3 year old child. It's basically right and wrong with a 2 to 3 year old child. They don't have to know about electricity if they're trying to put a fork into a socket.
They just
have to know
wrong.
They're not doing it.
Oh, good point. Okay, good point.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And dogs don't need to do something else when they're wrong. They need to know they're wrong. Oh. So they choose what to do.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, most people think training is if my dog's jumping up, I want it to sit. Oh. Instead of teaching the dog that sitting or jumping is wrong, so they choose to sit when in that situation. You see, because I have many clients who have tried sit. The dog sits and then jumps again.
Oh, because they're just being taught to sit. They haven't been told anything about the
jumping
up.
Is not correct.
Oh my gosh! Of course.
You see, that's it's like having a child who picks up a knife, who's 3-year-old off the counter, a sharp knife. You don't send them into the other room. You tell them it's wrong to pick up the knife, and then you're consistent.
Yes.
They wouldn't get it if you just made them go play in the other room.
I love this picture that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And people say that, but you can. I've worked with 9, 10-year-old, 12-year-old dogs because they always learn.
It's a pack mentality, correct?
It's a pack mentality, but dogs learn by association. So if they start associating something new with something good, then they learn that new thing.
Okay, so you could do, oh my gosh, these pictures you sent are so great.
I know.
I'll keep them under control. You can.
You can. Oh, definitely. But yet I had a client a week or two ago, had a 125-pound Great Dane that would stand on her when she's sitting down, would climb up on her, and she's an older lady. She had no way to, and she's pushing him down, he's jumping back up on her.
Oh no. And what about this behavior? I mean, that is a dog, to rip some things apart.
The secret is when they're doing it. If they do it when you're gone, it's a sign of stress.
Oh.
Because they're worrying about you when you're gone.
Aww.
If they're doing it because they're a puppy and they're not under watch, so therefore when they go to chew something or put their teeth on something, they get corrected. But most folks will say, for example, my dog, I didn't take him with me so he ripped apart the cushion. Does he rip apart the cushion when you're home? No, only when you're gone. So do you think it's just because you're gone or because he can't protect you? He's following you around the house. Yes, he is. If you're in the bathroom, he comes in with me.
Oh.
Or he sits and whines on the outside of the door when I'm showering.
He's trying to protect you?
It's a stress thing.
Oh, so how do you stop that?
Well, you have to get the owner to start becoming more of a leader and start teaching the dog that you shouldn't follow me around the house. I can take care of myself.
I've got this.
I've got this. And start to separate from the dog when you're home, because you can't do it when you're gone. Well, I shouldn't say that totally, because with technology now, with things like FaceTime and Skype, you can watch your dog when you're not home. Like, you can sit in your driveway and watch your dog from your car or from your garage to see when they're starting to stress, and then they get corrected the way the mother would correct them.
And so how do you correct? This is my favorite part of Tim. This
Well,
is something, you don't say no,
No,
or
'cause
that's wrong.
dogs don't say no to each other.
No. So what do you do?
Dogs make a growly sound.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And it
'Cause
works.
It does.
And I've seen on air, I mean, Duncan's just so chill right now.
But it does.
But you've done it before, and
it's-
they immediately look up at you.
It's a sound the mother makes from when they're weaned. Mother weans by growling at them. Mother doesn't make them, hey, get lost, go. Duncan, McCabe, Kathy, get out of here.
Yeah.
Says growls at them. They come
You're
back,
done.
growls again.
You're done.
Puppy starts stepping out of line, she growls at it. Sometimes she'll snap at it too, if it pushes its line.
Okay.
Right? They escalate. Dogs will snap,
Yes.
growl and snap. So yeah, but it's communicating. We believe it's best to communicate in the dog's language, not teaching the dog how to speak
Your
English.
words. I mean, that feels like that's the faster route to behavior modification.
It is. It is, because to make a dog or a child do something else when they're wrong takes a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
To make them sit when they're doing something, that's why it's back again, sit, feed their belly, communicate with their stomach, bribe them with treats, as opposed to correct the dog so the dog chooses to sit down, chooses not to bark when it hears the doorbell, or
And it learns.
And it
yeah,
says-
and you've been saying before too, getting the dog to bark at the right time, not just the normal. Someone's
Yeah.
walking by your house every day. You don't need to tell me that. Someone's coming in the back door.
I like to tell
Yeah.
people you want your neighbors to call the police because your dog is barking,
Yes.
not call the police because that darn dog is barking again. Right? That it's all they're
Yes.
hearing is a barking dog.
Yes.
And then when they call the police and they find footprints at your back door, well, nobody comes in your back door.
So that's the
So
time
that's
to
an
bark.
unusual thing.
Yeah. So we want to contact. I mean, I could talk to you forever about this. There's
Mm-hmm.
just so much. The biggest takeaway here is it's never too late. Train your puppies. I mean, start
right
if
from
you-
the start.
If you haven't, it's never too late to contact him. Thank you, Barkbusters. Duncan, keep it down. All right, keep it down. Got to wrap up this segment. We'll be back with Leah right after this. We'll see you in a minute.